Happy Friday. Thanks for joining me here tonight. We are going to stitch one more little character from our April Showers embroidery pattern tonight. And I think it's going to be fun. I'm going to stitch the guy and then we will stitch him onto a shirt like a little patch. I think it'll be fun. So thanks for joining me here. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for beginners. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and it's a time that we can relax and craft together. All right, let's just take a look at the plan for today and what we did this week. So thanks again for joining me. All right, hello everyone. So last night we finished this cute little card. We made a whole pile of characters on it that all had filled in shapes. And I had such a good time doing that I thought we'd do it again. And I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. So these are patterns from the April Showers Embroidery of the Month. So this is just available through through April. And we took all these little characters and we turned them into these fun greeting cards this week. So this week we made both of these greeting cards. And then here's another way you could do them. You could just stitch one. So we did these a little bit earlier. But it's been really fun to play around with them. And I've just been using the pre-printed fabric. I've just been kind of cutting it up into the little squares that I'm using for this. So I had a little leftover piece. We finished this one last night. And I really like how the butterfly turned out. We did a lot of chain stitches and stuff, and I do really like all the satin stitches in our little robin there. So I thought it'd be fun. I mean, one of my favorite ones from this is this little baby snail. So I kind of wanted to maybe stitch that tonight. I think that'd be fun. But then I thought, that's not going to take too long to stitch that. Why don't we turn it into a little patch, and then I have this t-shirt that I thought we could stitch it on, like right there, like, one of those little like logo shirts sort of things. We could do that with the little snail, like just stitch it right to the shirt when we're done. I thought that'd be kind of fun. So we'll see how that goes. I think we can get to all that tonight. So let's get going. Oh, and then I have this here. So next week's our free week. I thought I'd do some embroidery on one of these aprons. So I know a bunch of you guys ordered these nice aprons. They have like two really big pockets. They have like a little towel holder and stuff. And I thought it would be really fun to stitch these iron-on transfers. So these are our new Garden Herbs iron-on transfer sheets. And I've already put one on. It's a very textured, colored fabric, so you can see it there. It's enough for me to stitch it. So I thought we could stitch that and maybe put a few more on here, or maybe one on a pocket. I just thought there's 7 of them in here. I don't know if we'll have time to stitch them all, but they're all little and fun. I thought it'd be fun to kind of decorate this apron with them. So both of these are in the shop right now. This is in the iron-on patterns section, and this is in the supplies section. There's actually only 2 left of the aprons, and it's that cranberry color, 2 cranberry colors left. More are coming, so they should be here in a week or so, hopefully. But yes, I thought that would be kind of fun to do next week, so I got that out here. Oh, Gretchen says, oh yes, I'm going to go grab a shirt too. Yay, I think it's going to be fun. And I don't think it's going to be as difficult as what it might seem either. So I'm going to zoom you guys down here. Stitching directly onto t-shirt fabric can be really difficult because it's so stretchy. It's actually kind of tough to get a needle through. So I've done that a few times where I'll actually stitch it onto a piece of fabric first, and then I will tuck in, like, almost like needle turn applique, but I'll just like glue down the excess fabric in the back, and then I'll hand stitch it onto the shirt. So what I'm thinking, I have these little eyes on here. That would be hard to like go around and not see the fabric. So I think I'm going to stitch everything but those eyes, or whatever you call those on a snail. Like get rid of these guys and just stitch that. And then once I have it on the shirt, I might actually stitch those, couple little stitches directly onto the shirt. I think that will be easy enough to do. So I thought that'd be fun for tonight, and I got like all my glob of colors here yet that we've been using this week, and I think those colors will actually be kind of pretty with that kind of gold brown shirt that I have. So we've been cutting this fabric a lot, so this is barely going to fit in my hoop here. I'm hoping to get it all in. Let's scooch it over a little bit. He's going to be like right on the edge while we stitch. And, you can actually stitch without the hoop, with a little bit of the fabric showing, but it is a little bit easier just to have all the fabric contained in there. So we'll try and stitch them way down in the corner here. Way down on the edge, I should say. There's no corners in a circle. All right, so I'm thinking what I'd like to do is for the shell, I want to do that chain stitch, kind of like what we did here, because I just think that looks so pretty with the butterfly. But then for the body, I thought we'd do the satin stitch. So we'll have like a shiny body and then this kind of textured shell, and then we could like outline the shell too a little bit, like how we did with his wing here. I think that's kind of fun. So I think that's the plan. Color-wise, I am going to use these colors. So I'm not going to use this brown gold. This is that teddy bear color, just because that's really, really close to, well, a little brighter, but it's close to my t-shirt fabric, so I don't think you'll see it well. So I think for the outline, I'm going to err on doing like the orange. So I think for the body, I might do this green, just because I think it'd be cute. And I was thinking like this pink for the shell, just because those two colors always look kind of sweet. But we could also do blue for the shell, and then the gold for the outline. But I'm just thinking like, if you saw this from far away, this blue and gold, or this green and blue would kind of blend together maybe. So maybe we opt to do different colors. So I think let's do the pink and the green and the gold for the outline. So all right, we'll do these colors here. Does it matter if it's a t-shirt? So I'm going to do it onto a t-shirt. It would be much easier if you didn't do it on a t-shirt, honestly. It would be much easier if you stitched it onto like a button-up shirt, for example. I got a whole mess of thread here. Just because like a normal button-up shirt doesn't stretch. So t-shirts and sweatshirts, they all are knit. So they're pretty stretchy, and they're actually hard to stitch through. Like the needle just doesn't want to get through it sometimes. I will be doing it onto a t-shirt, so you'll be able to see, and it's a fairly stretchy and thin t-shirt, so it'll be kind of interesting. But this is so small that I think we can handle it. And even if it was bigger, we could handle it. So if you guys remember, we stitched that bunny at least a year ago. And that I stitched onto a black knit sweater that I had. So it's going to be kind of similar to that. All right, let's get going on this. I want to finish it tonight. So, all right, I'm going to... Oh, I don't have like a stitch to go in. So I'm going to start... Oh, I'm going to do that thing where I'll just do like a little back stitch to start, because we're going to be covering these stitches up. So I'll just do I'm doing that loop method. But the chain stitch isn't a good one to start the loop method with, because loop method works better if you're going in and out of if you're not going in and out of the same place, like what you would in a chain stitch. So I just put a little extra stitch in there. And now I can do my chain stitch as normal. And I think I'll still outline this, but let's just go along, just along the inside of this line. Do a quick little chain stitch around here. Oop. But yeah, eventually more and more of my shirts get little bits of embroidery on. Ooh, Sylvia says I pulled out my tatting today, and sat in the sun for a little bit. Oh, how wonderful! So it rained here all day today, so no sun here. I'm hopeful for the weekend. I haven't looked at any weather stuff yet. I'm just gonna do the stab method. I have a little tatting kit here that took me ages to figure out, and it would take me ages again to figure out. I'd have to do a YouTube search for it. The whole idea with tatting, you kind of slide this shuttle between your fingers, and that's a weird action that you don't do in like knitting and crochet or any of these other things. So I didn't quite understand it until I looked into it a bit more. But then I got it after a little bit. So that'd be something fun to dig into again one of these days. Tatting, you can make like really kind of like lacy almost like a doily looking things, except for it's not crocheted, it's tatting, which you can do with a tatting shuttle. You could also do it with there's a way to do it with like a crochet hook, I think. I don't know that one. Oh, I wish I could invite you to a tea and tatting lesson. Oh, dang. How freaking fun would that be? Only to us. I feel like if I said that phrase to someone else, they'd be like looking at me crazy. But we all get it here. I actually, it's funny. I actually have near me, here's that kit. So here's my little my first tatting kit. So this is the one and only bit of tatting that I've done, and it took me a zillion ages to get it. But then I was getting it. But this is all I've done. So I could put a little like decorative cuff on my sweatshirt or something. That's about what I can do with this. Maybe I have enough for 2 decorative cuffs. I don't know. So I'll have to pick this up again. So this is what a shuttle looks like, or could look like. And it's weird. You like slide it past your thread and slide it the other way. It's a goofy thing that I was totally was totally fresh to me when I got that kit. Like I didn't have any idea what they were talking about when they were trying to explain it in the instructions. I think I remember trying it like for hours. Like I am gonna only figure this out from the written instructions here, and that was dumb. That took me ages. I think I might have actually eventually got it from just the written instructions, but then I think I watched a YouTube video and it was a zillion times easier. Anyway, that was years ago. It's just been kind of sitting out here. Oh yeah, Ruth Bader Ginsburg collar. Yep, could make one of those. That'd be, yep, you can do a whole tatting thing with that. Oh, Lenore says, I tried to tat once and got such a mess that I had to cut it off my hand. Okay, that's funny because I can totally relate. It definitely is a little bit of a brain bender. All right, I felt that way at least. Like I said, I was like trying to spend hours to try and figure out what the heck they were trying to have me do. Alright, I think I'm going to end this here. So that's kind of like our first row of loops. I think that's kind of cute. So I'm going to do just another row next to it. Right here. And then maybe we'll fill it in a little bit. Like this part looks a little fatter here. And I'm going to totally run out of thread too before the end of this pink. And I still think I want the little back stitch to kind of define it a little bit. I think that'd be kind of cute. Get that swirl design going. Oh yeah, you could use tatting to embellish like a quilt block or something too. I know Blair from Wisecraft Quilts, she does a really fun job at incorporating embroidery or like vintage embroidery and crochet and tatting and all that sort of stuff into quilts. Like she'll actually cut it up and just have like sections of it in a quilt, and I just think that's so cool. I'd like to try that sometime. I don't feel like I could cut up my own embroidery to stick it in there, but like if I found like a pile of vintage embroidery, finished embroideries, like at a thrift store or something, I feel like I could cut that up and chop it into a quilt. I think that'd be pretty cool. Really textural quilt. Alright, yeah, I'm definitely going to need the outlines in here just to define all this a little bit more. Oops. Actually, maybe I will outline it in the dark, the brown color, because that it'll be similar to the background color, so it'll be as if the t-shirt color. It'll kind of be as if the t-shirt color got in the design a little bit. I think that could be kind of fun. We'll do that instead. Alright, last little guy here, and I think we're going to just add a couple stitches in here. It feels like it needs it. So this is a whole crazy mess here. That's why I kind of want to outline it. And I think we're actually going to have enough threads. That's nice. Nice when that happens. Alright, last one here. Let's kind of fill this in a little bit. Yeah, I think that's fine. Do our little anchor stitch. So I think I'll do the satin stitch first, and then I'll come back to just go around the swirl a little bit here with a back stitch. All right, so let's weave in the ends here. Oh, Gina says that she uses tatting a lot to make heirloom children's clothing. That makes sense. That's awesome. On collars and sleeves. Oh, here, there's more to that. Oh, that stuff is expensive. Oh, yeah, like getting like fancy like lace or like pre-done tatting or something. Okay. Now his little slimy body, I think I was going to do with the green. I think that'll still be cute. Blue might be cute too. Let's do the green. Let's see, do I have a bunch in here yet? I don't remember how long I cut that. Oh, this is a nice good length. Okay, we'll do the green. So I'm going to grab the one strand from here. See, I'm not tangled at the bottom. Okay, we're good. There we are. These go fast, these itty bitties. Come on. Ugh. fumbly tonight. Sheesh. There we are. Well, I managed to make some soup tonight, so that's been on the docket for the entire week, so I'm happy about that. All right. I think I'm going to just do all these stitches kind of upright. So I'm going to do them all straight vertical. I could kind of like angle it with him a little bit, but I think I like the idea of them all the same direction. Then it'll look even more satiny. All right, so I'm catching that loop here to start. All right, and I'm covering up his little mouth, so we'll have to bring that back later. We'll have to just find the mouth and stitch that later. Ooh, this green's gonna be cute. So these little eye sockety guys, I don't know what they are on a snail. The little eye dangles. Those are, I think I'm going to stitch those on directly onto the t-shirt when I'm done, just because I want to like kind of applique this on where you can't see the fabric, and you know, that's just a one stitch with a French knot for those eyes, so that'd be hard to tuck fabric behind it. So we'll leave that for later. So this isn't going to be perfectly satiny because I'm using 2 strands instead of 1, but it'll still get the idea across. Oh, it's already kind of looking cute. Ooh, cannot hold onto the needle. Eye stalks, is that what they're called? Paula, eye stalks. That makes sense. That's what they're called now. Just little eye stalks. Stalks. It's a funny word. I feel like that's a word, stalks, that is gonna be heavily accented depending on who says it. Kind of a lot going on in that one syllable word. There's this guy on YouTube. He does stuff for like Wired magazine on YouTube, but he's a dialect coach, and I just freaking love watching his videos. Like, he'll break down all the dialects in like the US or around the world, and a lot of what he likes doing, or the ones that I like watching, are like he's breaking down, you know, actors' accents in movies and stuff, and it's just great because he'll just go in and out of these accents because, you know, that's he studies it and he teaches it, so he just knows, like, okay, this part of Boston is a little bit different than this part of Boston, so, like, here's the differences. Like, he can do it right to that, and like ancient languages and stuff too. It's just so interesting. Anyway, so I think about how different places would say words a lot because of that. So stalks, I think, would be a goofy word. I have a hunch. Alright, it's coming along here. And again, I think I am going to outline just the shell. I don't think I need to outline his body. Got a fuzzle in there. I'm hoping I can get it with just this one strand. Oh, the YouTube guy, what's his name? Gosh, I don't know offhand, which just super sucks. But if you on YouTube in their search put like dialect coach and Wired, like Wired magazine, um, I would like to think it would pop up. So what it looks like a thumbnail, would be like he's kind of like it'll be like a guy just sitting on a stool or something with a white background sort of thing, or like a little like a little thumbnail in the corner, like a newscaster sort of, but on like a white sweep or something, and just like a taller face. I don't know. That's my description. Maybe 40-ish, maybe. I don't know. I'm bad at ages. He reminds me of John a little bit. So uh, just like in his like face shape a little bit. But I find it fascinating. It's so interesting. So I don't know. I don't know if anyone else would be interested in it, but ugh, it's a whole, like, I just feel like, man, that'd be like one thing, like, if I could just if I'm just, not doing anything else, and like I'm just gonna go take classes on stuff, like just different dialects is just, I don't know why I find that interesting. Oh, you thought I was naming the snail? Well, we can name the snail. Maybe that is what the maybe that is what the discussion's about. Oh, is that what the Herman was for? Oh, I do like Herman. Herman the snail would be fine. There's there's a kid's story that I liked called Herman the Worm, like an audio thing. Who knows, like some tape. Uh, but that would a snail's close to a worm, so that would remind me of that. So I like Herman. Oh, Linda's asking, why do you hold the thread so short by the needle? I was told to have the loose end at least halfway down to the fabric. Oh, I suspect, I mean, typically I do. If I'm using a really long thread, I will bring these ends closer in. So what you're saying is like bring these ends like way further down. So the reason one would do that is because it sucks to pull your arm way freaking back to pull the whole thread through. So like this gets longer as I bring it up, right? So the longer it gets, it's more strain on your shoulder and more repetitive stress with it long. I'm already kind of using a short piece, so I guess I had it just a little short, and I keep pulling it out a little bit too. So it gets annoying the other way though too if you always catch up to that thread, because if this gets longer than the other piece, then you can't pull it through all the way, and so I just do kind of what's comfortable. But yes, if you're using a longer piece, definitely you'll want to pull that in quite a bit, and I think it's literally just for like the sake of repetitiveness on your body. I'm thinking. And I try to actually not use threads so long that would be an issue. I used to I used to do that a lot with really long threads, but the thread twists more when you do that. There's more abrasion to the thread because, we're going through fabric with each stitch, and that rubs on the thread. So if you're doing that over a long piece of thread, the thread's getting kind of weaker and weaker. Plus, it's a big repetitive stress on your shoulder and that sort of thing. So it is annoying to switch thread more often, but for less knots, less, shoulder and neck pain, and less like wear on the floss, I've started to just do shorter bits of floss. Oh, name this. Lisa says, name the snail Keith, like the pottery guy. Ugh, I finished all those. There's 4 seasons of that on HBO, and I finished all of them. The pottery, the Great Pottery Throwdown. Ugh, I could watch 3,000 more of those. I might just start it up again, watch them all over again. Even though I've watched several episodes way more than once because my parents were watching it, and then we got John's parents watching them too, so there's a few episodes that I've seen like 4 times already. But it's just so chill to have on, especially while I'm working on other stuff, and I don't know. I'm going through withdrawal a little bit from that. So I've just been watching a few movies on TV. I kind of have stuff on like instead of the radio during the day. So I just have like these basic, easy, lighthearted movies. And I watched a ton of John Cusack movies yesterday that just all happened to be on HBO. And so I kept watching different ones. Cute, there we go. I'm going to weave in the ends here. Look how nice it looks on the back, too. It's almost nicer on the back. Oh, well. I'm going to weave into these stitches, I think, so I don't disrupt the front ones. Oh, Liza, thanks for joining us. I'm happy you like the tutorials here. But yeah, so I think I watched 3 John Cusack movies yesterday. 2 I like, and I've seen a zillion times before, but one was the dumbest thing ever. I don't even remember the name of it. It had a ton of other famous actors in and stuff too, like Catherine Zeta-Jones and Julia Roberts, and I don't know, they were all in this one, and it was super dumb. But the other ones I watched were High Fidelity and Serendipity, both which I love. So that was fun. Fun watching those again. I don't usually watch movies just because I don't like the pacing of them. I was going to do the dark thread. I like just series TV because it's easy and I don't really have to pay attention, and they don't let you miss anything really. Versus like things where the plot's always going like on a movie. So it was weird for me to watch movies yesterday. I got it. This all tangled up. Let's see if I can get that out. Otherwise I'll just trim it. It's like a double knot sort of thing happened here. Ugh, I'm just going to cut it off. Usually just if it's a single loopy knot like that, I can get it out really easily, but I'm not going to even bother. We don't need to do that. Alright, so I'm just going around the swirl with a back stitch now, the shell. And then we'll call it on there, and then I'm going to try and stitch it to this shirt really quick. We'll see how that goes. Come back here. Alright. And I think I'm just going to grab in the back of these stitches. Sometimes that's just easier. Doing that loop. Okay. So back stitch around the shell here. I'm going to have to, it's going to be a little difficult just because it's hard to see the lines now. So this should blend in with the shirt color a little bit, I think. We'll see. Marie says, I love Serendipity. I hadn't seen that since college, probably, and I'm like, that'll be a nice, easy movie that I remember liking, but I didn't remember much about the movie at all, and it was sweet. It was fun to do that. Oh, Grace, so I'm ordering some of these, so I should have them in the shop soon, these purple scissors. I'm kind of dragging my feet on it a little bit, just because I've been working on some other stuff, but I am hoping to get these. I do really love them. Just the length of them are awesome, and it's really great for just getting close to close to the embroidery, so definitely I'm hoping to have those in a whole pile of different colors. I'm actually hoping to get them to match to some of our floss. I think that would be super fun. So we'll see how that goes. That's the plan, though, at least. I will definitely let you know when those are ready to go. All right, I'm going to get this, since it's a little tough for me to see the stitches, I'm going to just like get this out as a reminder of where those stitches go. I'm just going to have that nearby here. Because there's one little bit I'm wondering if I should add an extra stitch to, but we'll see. We'll see what this looks like first. I think this is going to add a little bit to this, add some dimension or some definition to the shell here. Although now I'm thinking I'm not going to have enough of this thread. Oh, Mel, so these are iron on, this is actually from our bundle of the month, our embroidery bundle of the month, the April Showers bundle, and I do pre-printed fabric for that. So this is all pre-printed. Uh-oh, now I got a real knot. Oh, there, it went away. So you can actually trace it, too, with like a water-soluble marker. That would work great for this. I'm just going to come up here, I think. But yeah, these are pre-printed. Trying to get this swirl going. Just kind of following my stitches here. You could definitely use a pencil though, Mel. That would completely work. That's actually one of my go-to things, is just to trace with a nice sharp pencil, like a mechanical pencil, like a cheap mechanical pencil. I love doing that. The pencil kind of wears away after a while. The other thing I like using, if you have it, is a water-soluble marker, because that just kind of goes away too. Ugh, okay, I'm kind of making this up now. But you can barely see this anyway, so I think this will be fine. I think it just adds just enough little loop-de-loop in there. It's actually, I think I can see it on the camera a little bit better than I can in real life, but I think that's fine. I think that's all I really want to do. Oh, I was going to put like a little last stitch connecting the base of that shell. So we have that connection all the way around the back there. Okay, so I think that's all I'm going to do. So let's weave in the ends again here, and I'm gonna start trimming this. So this is all theoretical after this. I'm gonna stitch this to a shirt, and I've done it only a couple times before, and never this small, and not for a few years. So in theory, I have a concept in my head of how this is gonna go, and I'm hoping it goes how I think in my head. All right, notice again, I didn't do the eye. Oh gosh, what were we calling them? The eye stalks. I didn't do the eye stalks because I'm going to stitch those directly to the t-shirt when I'm done, just because they're too thin to kind of applique on. All right, let's see. So he is itty bitty. I am going to trim him out and tuck the edge under, but let's just get this shirt out again. I just kind of want to see them together. So I think I want it like right about here, and we'll maybe pin it on before I get too far, and we can just kind of take a look at it. So I'm going to just cut around him, almost like I'm going to needle turn him. So I want to make sure that I'm not cutting any threads behind, but I have my threads pretty well contained here. I didn't jump from place to place, so I'm not all that worried about it. And if a little bit of this fabric ends up showing when we're done, I don't care. Oh my god, it's so little. But that should make it sort of quick to stitch. We'll see how this goes. I'll probably, around like these bends, I'll probably have to snip into it a little bit, but I think I'll wait until I'm right there. I don't know. I don't know if that's a great idea. All right, but let's just kind of grab a little pin, and I'm actually going to probably glue this down, but let's just see if I'm even in the right area, and then I can put the pin, I can like keep the pin there. Yeah, we'll prep him first before placing him. But all right, I'm gonna flip you guys around for a sec. All right, so I just want to see what this looks like really quick here on a body. So, all right, that's kind of in the right spot, I think. Maybe a little bit more inward. I think probably around, I think maybe just a hair over, so like right, I think right there or so, I think it'll be cute. Okay, so let's do it about right there. So I'm just gonna throw a pin there, just to kind of know where the heck I was talking about. So like right where the eye of that is. So I think I'm gonna just use some glue here and see how that goes. So I'm gonna grab, I think it's still out here. I have some glue. This is just like craft glue, like it's just like what you would get, it's like Elmer's glue basically, but as a glue stick. And I'm gonna grab Zeb here, and let's see, let's get some thread as well. I don't have any thread that would match this, but I wonder. Yeah, that's too bright, this orange. I think I'll just grab it from the sewing machine. I got some gray. Oh yeah, that'll blend in probably the best. So we'll stitch him on with some gray. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just get a surface here. All right, let's get down here again. So hold on to your hats here, guys. Okay, we're gonna do a little surgery on him now. I am gonna clip into close to these points and just kind of like around his butt there and up in here. I'm just gonna cut right in there. Get rid of some of this bulk. And I'm going to just glue these back and hope that they stay long enough for me to stitch. I'm even going to cut out some tiny little notches here. All right, let's give it a go. We can, I can, like, adjust this, I can tweak it as I stitch a little bit, but it'd be great to get as much down as I can now. So I'm just putting a blob on. Ooh, that was a little too far. I want to see all the stitches yet. Then I'm going to just stitch the edge of this fabric down. Just like we're needle turning it a little bit. Just kind of pre-doing it with this glue a little bit. This may or may not be a good idea. We will see. It's always fun. Experimenting. Doing all these little experiments. So that little bit we might have to try and tuck in a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to reduce some bulk from here. You know what, I'm just going to cut across. I think a lot of this we'll take care of as we stitch. It's just kind of nice to get it started. So this will all wash off. I'm not worried about any of this at all. It's tiny to work with, though. I should be using, like, my stiletto and stuff to get in here. So I don't want to cut too close. I maybe have already cut too close because I don't want any of my stitches to come out. All right, I'm going to see how that goes. You know, it's not perfect yet, but like I said, I think we'll be able to adjust a lot of that when we stitch. So let's do that. Let's see how that goes right now. Oh, I didn't put his little smiley face in either, so I'm going to have to stitch that in to as we do it here. Okay. I might actually glue it in place here too temporarily until we get the first few stitches in. So let's just put a gob on the back. That should be enough. All right, I'm going to put it right where that green line was. The green, all right. Let's get prepped for stitching. So I'm going to use like the thinnest needle I can. So I'm going to use that, I don't know, I think it's a size 10 or 11 straw needle. Oh, this one's a little thick. I thought I had a thinner one. Oh, there we go. It was hiding deep in that pincushion. So I don't need a ton of thread because we're not doing much here. And I'm not going to use a hoop because I don't want to like stretch the fabric out really. I'm going to start with a knot. All right. So this will be a bit of a challenge. So I'm going to kind of roll up the shirt a little bit because I need to get onto the inside. So I'm just going to hold this in place and I'm never going to let go. All right, I'm getting underneath here. I think I'm going to start at this bottom edge. That seems like it'd be the easiest to manage. And I'm just going to go in that fabric fold. We'll probably see a little bit of this fabric, and I'm going to just go around that loop again, that same spot. There we go. All right. All of these things got to move out of my way, though, now. I'm going to hit everything with this shirt. Okay. So I'm just going to gradually just kind of keep tucking this fabric under. It might be actually a little bit more difficult now that I glued, but I'm going to go in that same spot, but just in the shirt, and then I'll come up through the fabric and the shirt a little ways away. So I'm just right on the edge here. There, that's a stitch. Now I'm going to tuck some more of that fabric underneath with just the needle best I can, and grab a little bit more of the t-shirt and then come up and grab a little bit of the fabric. And that's another stitch. So I'm trying not to stretch the t-shirt. Too much here. There, we got a few stitches in here. This is just so silly. It's fun. This is a good Friday evening experiment here. I grab a little bit of that fabric. I'm just checking every once in a while just to see that I'm not pulling the shirt too much and stretching it. Like, I don't want it to get super puckered. Right now this is quite a bit that I want to tuck under, so I'm just going to swoop it under with the needle, and I'm going to hold it there in place as best I can. I might have to swoop it under again, but grabbing some of that shirt, which is not always easy, and there we are, another stitch. Okay. Let's make sure that I got a few stitches on, which is good now, but I want to see that I'm not stretching it too much, that I'm like twisting or something. No, I think we're still good. This is going to be cute when it's done. It's wacky. Alright. Tuck that little point under. So you'll be surprised. So that's the one that I did of the bunny. It's a little bit bigger than this, but that I did in the same way. I stitched onto another piece of fabric and then just needle turned it, like appliqued it to the shirt, like what I'm doing now. And it's gone through the wash a zillion times, and it looks just as nice as when I put it on. The embroidery looks really good yet. Alright, so here I might keep a little bit of this white, but I'll try and tuck it in as best I can. Maybe I'll try and cinch it a little bit. Okay, I'll go back a little bit further here. I'll try and go around that spot again. Okay, let's go around the top of the shell here. Just tucking that fabric under some more. And we could probably have pre-done this a little bit more than just gluing too. Like we could have actually stitched it down or stitched another piece just on the back. And then not had to do this needle turning at all. We would just be kind of stitching it on. I suppose that's kind of what we're doing here. Get in there. Oh yeah, this would work on a button cover or a magnet for sure. This would be a really cute magnet. You could actually make some needle minders like this too. All right, so he's coming along. We have this bottom here and the little back up to there. So we'll get to tucking all this under. And I still want to stitch those eyes on, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if we have time for all that. I'm probably just going to keep going with this though till I'm done here. So we might go a hair over tonight, just because it'd be fun to actually finish this. Again, next week I'll be stitching on those aprons. I think that'll be kind of fun. Stitching those herb iron-ons onto them. Pretty excited about that. The aprons are nice. So some of you should be getting your aprons already, I would think. So let me know how you're liking them. They're nice and big, and the pockets are big. It's just like it feels like a nice utilitarian apron, which is what I like. Cute little silly, fun, frilly aprons are fun too, but sometimes you just want that nice utilitarian one that's just pretty too, but like pretty because the color is pretty or the fabric's pretty, not because it's got frills all over. Alright, tuck in a little bit more fabric underneath there. Grab that edge. We don't have that much more to go. So this should just look like one of those little logos that go on shirts, even though those are like machine embroidered. But still, this is kind of a fun way to do that. tricky, a little goofy working with the t-shirt. But this is easier than if you were to try and satin stitch a whole thing directly onto the t-shirt, like a whole design. Like this would have been not the funnest thing to do directly on the t-shirt, even if it's this small. Just stitching on sweatshirts and t-shirts is not always like the easiest thing. Oh, I kind of want to do that stitch over. We'll see. I might add another little stitch there. And I know that's how a lot of people like starting is like, oh, I want to stitch this thing on a t-shirt and stuff, which is awesome. If you're going to do that, I recommend using that stick and stitch stabilizer. That'd probably be a little helpful. Ooh, this is kind of strange here. Let's just come up here. Now, let's try tucking that under again. This is like a teeny tiny, like, inside corner here a little bit. Oops, let's see, now I'm moving it. I'm just going to try and grab a little bit, and then we'll tuck it under more with the next stitch. I should just keep grabbing clothes from my closet and be like, okay, what else? What can we stitch on this shirt? Ugh, his little head might not be stitched very well on. That's okay, whatever. I think it'll still hold up. Do some smaller stitches here. Trying to get it tucked under. Actually may add a couple more stitches right on the head here. All right, this last little bit here, and then we just got to do that extra little embroidery and we're done. So let's tuck all this in here. It's kind of a lot to tuck under. Oh, that's a great idea. Nolene says if you press on a little piece of stabilizer on the inside of the t-shirt first, it stops stretching. And really, what we could have done is just put stabilizer on the back. Like, we could have just put like that, what is it, like a fusible. We could have just fused this on. That would have been the easy way. So we could have tucked all these edges under, or put some fusible on and cut it really close to the edge, and then just fused it to the shirt. And it would have been some smart thinking, but oh well. Sometimes it's fun to just hand stitch too. Yeah, this is just not wanting to stay tucked under. Get under there. Funny. This is just silly. Alright, let's just get this last little bit under and we'll be fine. Got maybe 3 more stitches. then the little bit of embroidery that I want to do on them. All right, last little stitch here. All right, so we got him kind of stitched on. The head's a little goofy, but we're gonna put some more embroidery there in a sec. So I'm just kind of going around in that spot again, and I'm just gonna head to the back here to tie a knot. There, we'll just tie it like right within this fabric here a little bit. I think that'll be plenty fine. In theory, I would like to hide that other knot a little bit, but ugh, and I'm doing a crazy job here on this knot, but good enough. It'll be fine. Just gonna weave it in a little bit here. All right, let's attempt to do the little extra embroidery. So, and I think for that, I'll use that orange. Let's see if I have a long enough piece in here. Oh, plenty long. Okay, so I'm going to just eyeball this. I'm going to do those two little eye stalks and two little French knots at the top of it. So I think we'll start with the loop method. I think that would work just fine here. And I'm going to just do them all the same color here too. I'm looking for this guy. So I'm using my bigger needle again now, so this might be a little more difficult to go through this knit fabric, but luckily there's only a couple stitches, so we'll be fine, I'm hoping. It's silly, look at it, it's just so silly. Okay, I am going to come up. I'm going to actually go this way. So let's start at the top of where an eye stalk might be. All right, that looks fine. And I'm going to come down, and let's get some of that fabric behind too. There we go. So I'm going to catch this loop, but I want to pull it through a little bit. So this is where I'm going to want to not stretch the fabric if I can. All right. So there's one little eye stalk. I think it's stretching the fabric a little, so I'm going to pull on it. Just elongate it a little. All right, let's do the other one, I think. And then we'll do the French knots on top. Okay, let's see how that goes. All right, that's so weird. Okay, I need to put a little smiley in here too, so we'll get to that. But all right, let's do a little French knot here. I don't think I've done a French knot on knit fabric like this before, but it should work. It's just so stretchy. Oh, the This whole thing makes me laugh. Okay, so there's one. And let's get this other one. And then I forgot his little smile. So we'll add a little like V for his smile, I think, too. Make sure I'm not going through any other part of the shirt. Oh, he's silly. There we go. All right, he needs a smile. Let's do that quick and call him done. I'm just going to put like a little V. Not being the easiest thing. Okay, right there. That's perfect. All right. There we go. He's got a little itty bitty smile there. All right, I think I'm gonna weave in these ends just a hair, and then we'll tie a knot in this t-shirt behind the stitching. And hopefully this all stays. It should. It's a little goofy back here, but it should be fine still. So just grabbing some t-shirt. This is a super thin t-shirt too. Let's do that again. All right, I'm going to tuck that thread behind a little bit again. All right, let's see what we got here. That was a silly little project. Oh, he looks happy. So this is like from far away when he kind of looks on the shirt. He's so small, like you'll barely see him. But if you look up close, there's our little snail feller. All right, you guys. Let's take a look. So we got him on here. There we go. A little hidden guy on my t-shirt. I'll have to wear him tomorrow and we'll see what that looks like. But that was fun. So there's options with this embroidery. I mean, it's not the easiest to do it on a t-shirt like what we did here, but there are tricks. So we could have done some fusible web or some stabilizer, and I think I'd like to play around with doing stuff on shirts and sweatshirts some more. So we'll definitely try more of this and stitching directly onto a shirt too in the future. But yeah, this is fun. A good experiment. All right, you guys. So again, next week we'll be stitching these garden herbs onto, or at least a few of them, onto this my apron that I got here. I've already ironed on one, so one's ready to go. And we can iron on a few more as well. I think that'd be really cute on here. So thanks again, you guys. Have a fabulous weekend. And yeah, more stitching next week. Have a good evening. Good night.